And welcome to the module on Outlook. In this module, we're going to be going through lots of little functions that you will find very useful in sifting through your inbox and creating time. So what I'm going to do is show you a series of actions that you can take, and then I'm going to, in a separate module, show you the sifting process, which is some of those actions in action. All right, so let's start the first session, which is some useful tools in Outlook. So the first one is creating a folder. Okay, so you, as part of this course, you might want to create a folder for to house all the information that you are going to receive with regards to practical time management for entrepreneurs. See, I've got my folder here. But you know, PTME is all the way down there. So I've added that particular folder to favorites, and I'll show you how to do that as we go along. But let me just show you how to create a folder for those of you who may not be sure. So I want my folder to live under the inbox. If I wanted it to live under another particular category, I would click on that folder and then right-click under that particular folder. But because I'm going to do it under the inbox, I'm just going to click on the inbox, right-click, new folder. I'm going to name that folder, which is filing. I'm going to call it 0 filing. Okay, and there it is there, the second one underneath the inbox. So putting a 0 in takes it out of the alpha range and puts it straight underneath my inbox, so I can easily file to it, but I can easily access it too. Very, very useful. Now just say I didn't want to put a 0, I just wanted it to leave it as filing, and it was all the way down there somewhere. What I could do is save it to my favorites. So the way to do that is by right-clicking on the folder you want to put in favorites and show it in favorites. When you no longer need it, you right-click and remove from favorites. Favorites are excellent when it's a short, a hot topic that you're filing to all the time, or when you are actually, accessing all the time. So it's great to use your favorites, especially for folders that you can't see. They're all the way down the bottom there. Using the 0, the 0 also takes it out of the alpha range. So make sure you're using one of those. While I'm here, just say I'm wanting to file things in my PTME folder, but I want to make it easy to find. What you can actually do is change the name of your email. So let's just say I wanted to change this to PTME Vimeo advice. Once I'm done, I save the change, and there it is. It's been renamed. So let me just show you again. I opened the email. I clicked in the subject. I'm not doing anything clever. And I renamed the the actual email, sorry. I've renamed it to make it easy to find. Once I'm finished, I click on the X and yes, there we go. It's renamed it for me. Very useful. Now, some of you, when you're actually going through your inbox, you may have lots and lots of emails to actually file and go through. So there's a very quick way to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okay, so just say you've got thousands of emails in your inbox. You're not going to go through all of them. You're only going to go through the last, say, 100. What you want to do is move them, the old ones, into a place that you can find them. So let's say we want to move them to our filing. We might even rename this filing folder. So I've right-clicked and I'm just going to rename it to filing old emails so that I know to look in here if I'm looking for something. Now what I'm going to do is collapse these emails. So I'm going to go to View, Expand and Collapse Groups. So it's going to expand and collapse the groups for me. So it's collapsed them into last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, etc. Now all I need to do is just grab hold of the bunch of emails and move it. And this might take a little while, but basically it'll actually move those emails into there for me all in one hit. So there you go. My emails from over a month ago have all moved into this particular folder. What you might also want to do is move the first one and then say maybe 10 more, and they're all consecutive. If that's the case and the emails are consecutive, hit the first email, hit the shift, click on the last email that you want to actually move, and then you can move them all together. Now, if you have this tricky thing happening where you can't actually grab a, click on the folder, you might want to use, back in Move, your Move option. What this will actually do, it'll remember the last ones that you've saved to, so it makes it very easy to actually move information. So there's 2 quick ways, or 3 quick ways to move information. All right, so now we're getting into the tricky stuff, the cool stuff. When you're serious about getting your time back, you want to make sure that when you open your Outlook system, you actually start on your calendar first. So let me show you how to do that. So most of us start here on our inbox, but we want to start on our calendar first because our calendar is our roadmap. It shows us what we actually need to do through the week. So I'm going to go to File, just up here. I'm going to go to Options. I'm going to go to Advanced Options. And then just here, see that just here? Well, you could maybe before I coloured it in. Just here, you're going to click on Browse, Calendar, and OK. And now, if I closed my email after I've hit OK again, I would start on my inbox, on my email first. So let me just show you that. Oh, I might not. It might take too long. So trust me, do it yourself, and then start on your calendar first. So we went File, Options, then we went to Advanced, we clicked on Browsed, selected Calendar, OK, OK, and then when we close Outlook and start it again, it starts on our calendar first. The next thing we want to do is get our calendar and taskbar on the same page, because remember, we want to see everything that we need to do in one view. Okay, so here I am in my calendar, and you can see that I can only see my calendar. I can't see my taskbar as well. So what I want to do is I want to switch that on. So to do that, when you go to calendar, this is where you go to. So let me do that again. There you go. We want to go to View, and we want to go Daily Task List. And you can see it's off, so I want to switch it on to normal. There it is there. Now it's nice and handy. I can see all my tasks. If I want to see more of my calendar, I just hit the down arrow. To see my tasks again, I can hit the up arrow. And you can see on this side, I've got my to-do bar If I don't want to see that, I can minimize that as well. So I've got a big, nice big view of my calendar. If you've got a 7-day view, you might want to change your view to a work week rather than just a week. And you can do that again from the view, which is where we are at the moment, and by clicking work week. That'll only show you the 5 days of the week. In fact, it'll only show you the days that you have set as your working week. Right? But that's a bit more complicated. I won't go into that today. I'll just show you exactly what I need you to do. All right, so we've got our calendar, we've got our taskbar. We are ready to roll. What we're going to do next is create a task. So we receive an email, and it only is going to take us 5 minutes or 10 minutes to respond, but we're not going to do it today because we've just got too many tasks already on our task list. We're going to, and it's not urgent. We don't have to do it today. So we're going to move it to another day. So let's say Wednesday to get it done. So this one here, I know I need to respond, and I know I need to look at this attachment here. So look at what I'm going to do. You know how when you file, you just left click and drag the document across? I'm going to left click and drag to task. Now, if you've got this version of Outlook, sometimes it thinks that you're not interested in actually, it thinks that you're not actually interested in doing anything with that task, so it minimizes it. There it is there. It's still available, it's just not in view. Can you see that? If I hover over the icon, there it is there. So I want to make a task out of this particular email. As you can see, let me just get rid of these people's names. As you can see, the email has got an attachment, but when I left click and drag, I lose that attachment. So it's not particularly useful to me. But for the sake of the experiment, let me just proceed. So with tasks, I'm going to change the subject to reply to Jody regarding the Ashdale Community Garden. I'm going to do it on Wednesday. These two things are very important with tasks. You must change the subject so you know exactly what you need to do without opening the task, and you must change the actual start date so that your tasks spread out all through the week rather than just accumulate in the no date group. Once I'm done, I save and close. My email is still in my inbox with my trusty attachment, and if I go to my calendar, I've made this task on Wednesday, haven't I? So there it is there. Reply to Jody regarding Ashdale. Can you see that? All right. So what I did then is I left clicked and dragged. Now I'm going to right click and drag to tasks, and as you can see, it now gives me a dialog box, and it says, what do you want to do, Ange? I want to move it. So I'm going to move that email from my inbox into a task. I'm going to update my subject, which is review email and reply to Jody. I'm going to put it onto a day that I actually want to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. And then I'm going to save and close. And as you can see, my inbox, it's left my inbox. And if I go to my taskbar, there it is there. And if I open that task, there's my email from which I can actually reply from there. Pretty cool, huh? I think it is. You saw a little bit of my magic behind the scenes there. Sorry about that. Okay, this time creating an appointment. It's not very hard. In fact, it's very similar to creating a task. So from my trusty inbox, this one here, it requires a me to take some action. The action is going to take me longer than half an hour, so I want to put it into my into my calendar, sorry. So remember, I could left click and drag, but if I do that, I'm going to lose the attachment. So I'm going to right click and drag that. I'm going to move it as an appointment with an attachment. Now again, this version of Outlook has that little glitch in it. There is my particular appointment there. So what I'm going to do here is reply to questionnaire. I'm going to put it on the day I'm going to do it and the time. And I'm going to save and close. It's left my inbox. If I go to my calendar, there it is there. If I open my appointment, there's the email to which I could respond to that email. And of course, it's got all my attachments as well. Okay. What I'm going to show you next is probably one of the most important things I'm going to show you in this video. It's about how to get rid of email alerts so that you don't get that pop-up in the bottom right-hand corner telling you that you've received your email. So the way to get rid of alerts is as follows. Click on File. You go to Options. You click on Mail. And you see this box right here? You uncheck all the boxes and then OK. Simple as that. So let me show you. File, Options, Mail, and uncheck all the boxes right here and then OK. And that gets rid of your desktop alerts. This one is this one's not commonly known, but it's a great one for when you have an existing appointment and you receive new information, new emails that should also live in your existing appointment. So rather than creating a new email, a new appointment or task, what you're going to do is insert the new email into the existing appointment. Okay, so you have an existing appointment, speak to Dave. But and then you receive an email which you need to speak to Dave about. Rather than creating a new appointment, what you're going to do is open the existing appointment, and then you're going to go across to Insert, see that File, Appointment, Insert, Outlook item, and you just click on the one that relates to Dave. And it pops a copy of it into your existing appointment. It's very useful. When you're done, save and close. Your appointment shows you have an attachment there. You still have a copy of that email in your inbox, so you can either ditch that or file that as you please. The last thing I'm going to show you in this particular video is how to search Outlook, because of course if you're attaching emails to tasks and to appointments and then you go to look for it, you might not find it as easily as you used to if you left it in your inbox. So let me show you how to search for Outlook items. So let's say you had inserted that email from Dave into the right appointment, but then Dave calls you asking for that particular email or something in that email. You can search for that email in several ways. You could do it from any screen, just so you don't have a clue where it is. You can search from your inbox, or if you know you put it into your calendar bar, you could search from your calendar bar. Now, let me show you what happens when you click on the search bar. Watch this ribbon across the top. It changes. It changes to your search tools. You see, this particular version of Outlook is actually, the ribbon changes to whatever folder or view you're looking at, so it's contextual. Now, we're looking for the email from Dave. So let's say we put the word Dave here because we know that that word is in the subject of the email. But it's saying to us, no, there's nothing in your inbox that matches that criteria. Well, we can expand that to all the subfolders in Outlook. Oh my gosh, lots of things. Then we can even expand it to our Outlook items. Heaps of things. And look, and there's our email, but let's just say we want to, we don't know if that's actually it. What we can also do is say that this particular appointment maybe has an attachment. So it filters and refines it even further for us. We could ask, we could say who it's from, that it's from Dave. There we go. It's getting further and further along. This one actually wasn't from Dave, which is why it didn't come up. But let's go to our calendar and try there. So let's just say we know it has the word Dave in it, and we also know that it has an attachment. There you go. There it is. Ready for us to view. It only took 2 steps. Pretty cool, huh? Let me show you that again. So I know I made it into a calendar appointment. I put the word Dave, and I know it has an attachment. So I click on attachment, and there it is.